Patty from Project 39 Mini Albums, and I know usually I make mini albums, but today I'm going to show you a project share on something non-mini albumish. Um, I was able to play around with some of these molds available at Country Craft Creations. These are from Prima, and they are from the Lost in Wonderland collection. Do they have names on them? Uh, No, but if you go to the country, I'll put the link in the description box so you can see. So there are a couple of different molds. This one has the suits of cards, the spade, the heart, the diamond, and the club. Um Spade, heart, diamond, club. I'll get it right. In two different sizes. These are fabulously detailed. I don't know if you can see, but there is one that I made of the smaller size because we might bring them to the store so people can play around with them. I have to find out what the deal is with that. These ones look like wax molds, and I actually did make some wax molds with them. And I apologize, people. I know all this stuff is in plastic and it's hard to see. But I'm trying to keep my craft room neat and organized. So this one I made with a dark green. If you were to take a gold pen and I just buff that a little bit, or just some rub and buff or something like that. I know Tamara has something in mind. They'll bring out all the detail of it. This one has the watch, Alice, the rabbit, I guess Mad Hatter. No, the rabbit. I do know my Alice stuff. Teapots, ferns, and so here's the teapot. Look at the fabulous detail on that. And Alice too. I mean, everything from pockets to her hairband to the stripes on her stockings and the button buckles on her stockings. Fabulously detailed. And then this one it's got a set of mushrooms. It's got the rabbit, a different one. It's got a key and a different clock. So I played around with these and made a couple of different projects. All right, so this one, so you can get an idea of the different textures and shapes that are in it. So this is the one from the deck of cards. It has the different suits. So this is how I made this. I'm going to show you a little video on a different project, but I'll tell you how I made this one. I thought I recorded the process, but I didn't. The camera just failed on me and I can't do it over. It's done. So anyhow, I made these. I prepared this canvas by putting some dimension on it, and I'll show you that in the other video. Um, these I painted with some distress paint that's available, Country Craft Creations, and then I added some color, added some ink, the black soot. I just took the dropper of the refill and added it in. That's available at Country Craft Creations. And then I took some iridescent color that I had in my stash and just put it over this. There's lots of supplies available at Country Craft Creations that you can recreate different things. These shapes were from a Graphic 45. I think they're two different dies. So this is like a clock, which I thought is appropriate for Alice. And then, of course, we have the gears. That is a different Graphic 45. And I just cut them with paper using my die cut machine, glued them on, and then just, when you rub, you can see some of the dimension with it. So this was rather fun to make. I don't know if you can see the iridescence in here, but it was an experiment. First time I had used these, and I just wanted to play around and see. Now this one I like better. You guys probably do too. It's not so dark. Um, I didn't add that much color to it, and let me show you real quick how I did this. All right, so first of all, here is a closer look at the molds. I don't know if you can see all the detail in them. I mean, look at the fabulous relief on here. So these are the ones that I made. I also need to tell you that I used the Prima modeling material available at Country Craft Creations. This is the best stuff known to man to make molds. Now, I also experimented using some creative paper clay, so it's an air dry clay, and those products, um, those projects that I made with it did not come out nearly as nice as using this modeling material. It just dried nicely. It took all of the detail in there. I just enjoyed using this 1,000% more than the air dry clay. Now this stuff does air dry too, and it air dries fairly quickly. There are other spatulas available that you can use instead of this uh, material I have. I found that if you pull towards the outside, like pull from the middle, it keeps the shape. I like to have it flat against uh, the mold because that way it dries flat, and when you're trying to glue it down to something, it's not bumpy. So you can reuse the material. You can put it back. They say you can take a little piece of paper towel that's wet and put it in the container to help re-moisten everything. It's You don't want to take like 2 or 3 little pieces and put it together unless you mix it real well, because where you add a second piece, you tend to get a possibility of cracking. Like in the teapots, if you had, like you put it in the main area and then added the handle, that little handle would come off. So just start with a big piece and go from there. So look at how these came out. Now I only wanted 2 mushrooms, so I only filled 2 mushrooms for this one. And over here, this is where I am going to take a piece of canvas. It's a really small piece of canvas. It's about 3 by 5. And I have some grit paste that I got at Halloween. And now it has a little more texture than I wanted, but that's okay. So I just play around and rub it there. I add a bunch to the bottom because I want to add my features to it. So I'm really sort of playing around to see where I'm going to add everything. I broke off that mushroom so I could add it on top of the little fern. All right, I want to explain this to you. So this is a piece of chipboard, and I just cut some diamonds. I mean, they were sort of rectangles out of some fun foam. I could have used another piece of chipboard I found, but I made this little pattern. I don't have stencils in my RV. And I didn't think of picking any up at Country Craft Creations, so I just made something with a little bit of pattern. You don't need to do this, but I, again, was just experimenting. So I'll show you what I used it for. So I just, again, smoothed out that texture paste and just stamped on it. You saw it actually removed some of the medium, but that's okay. Again, I'm just trying to experiment and add a little bit of texture and see what happens. So I put back the figures and I do glue them down. I don't just leave them sitting in there. And then I let this dry, and then here we are. Mostly finished. Now I might want to add some more to it when I get back to the store, and I might get some gold to brush on the top. Wouldn't that be nice? I did use some Distress Oxide in a couple of different colors, a blue and some browns. One of the browns actually added some purple to it once it dried. And again, I'm sorry, the video didn't work. So I just used some of the spray Distress ink on there, let it sit for a minute, sprayed some water, and let it dry, and that's what I ended up with. Really fun. I could see using this for a cover for a mini album, so I'm going to hold on to this, and you might see it again later. So that's what I have. I wanted to again show you these great products from Country Craft Creations. It was the molds from Prima, the Lost in Wonderland collection. There are other things in the store. You can look online and you can get this stuff online. I know I'm going to pick this up because I love this. This is fabulous. And again, if you stick a little wet paper towel inside the package after you've used it, it will reinvigorate it. I don't know. It makes it wonderful, and I enjoyed using it. Oh, these molds, by the way, are food safe. Other people have told me they're food safe, but they would use it in food and then bring it into the craft room, not do that. But you know, you clean it good enough. I don't know. But can you imagine making little cupcakes or something with Alice sitting on there? I don't know. So much you can do. You need to check these out. Go online and look, or come to Country Craft Creations in West Haven, Utah. And that is what I have for you today. Have a fabulous day.